My name's Neeta. I'm a music producer and a musician. Yeah. I make all sorts of different types of music, mainly within the electronic realm. I guess I'm more used to making like soulful, down-tempo, that sort of trip-hop sort of stuff. Some of it's quite dancey and upbeat and happy, and some of it's like moody and depressing. That's okay. I grew up listening to a lot of Indian music, so I think there's a huge influence. I used to purposely fuse stuff, but now I just subtly notice, like rhythmically, it just appears. So for Ampify, over the last 3 or 4 years, I've made a number of sound packs for Bloxwave, Launchpad and Groovebox. There's like some that I really like, and then there's some that I feel like are quite special because of the way they were created. This is the pack India Chime that I made a few years ago with my dad. So one Christmas I went home and I recorded my dad. He plays tabla and he sings and stuff. So I took that and sort of like warped it with my own sounds. So we've got stuff like there's a pack that I made called Lost Geometry that I really like. It's really fast. We're not doing it at that tempo. It's kind of based on a track I wrote, so I just wanted to kind of base it on that sort of idea, so it's very rhythmical. I quite like the drums that I've made on these because they're not like normal drum kit kind of sounds. They're sort of like weird percussive sounds that sort of make up the drum kit, so it's just a bit more weird and interesting. So I always look to that pack as like something to aspire to when I'm making packs. Sampling is quite a new thing to me, actually. I wasn't even conscious that I wanted to do that. I think I first started doing it with like just random sounds that I have. I just started like putting them into Ableton Sampler and seeing what I could make. And then so from there I was like, okay, well, like why don't I just like go and record sounds? Yeah, that's been really exciting because then you're just like, you're creating sounds that absolutely no one else has. That's the fun of it. It's just an accident. You just kind of put it through and see what it sounds like. So there's no sort of like, oh, this is gonna sound like this, or I want this to sound like this. You just like whack it in the sampler and see what happens, you know? I can already feel how like it will influence music that I'm gonna make, and that's exciting. Oh. I like getting outside. I think that's mainly because I'm so glued to a screen and that can get a lot. So it's good to just connect with the real world a little bit. I've been sort of moving around a lot in the last few years, being quite fluid with my location. I've really enjoyed connecting with different places and exploring and what that's brought to my music. I think I just am passionate about living simply and living in harmony with nature and in respect of nature as much as we possibly can. It's really peaceful to be present and be still. Yeah, I guess as I'm getting older, I just appreciate those things. It's not all about excitement. It's about stillness. When there's silence, there's space for creativity. All right, so let's see what we've got with the samples that we collected. This is from the beach. There's like a small piece of dry bark that was hitting with the beater. Some of these sounds you wouldn't even need to do anything to. Just literally just cut them off and stick them in, they sound good. It's so bright and crisp. I like it. That's so cool. Should we do something with that? I'm just gonna cut this bit of the audio out and use this. So just fade off that. My favourite thing right now to do with samples that I collect is just run it through Ableton's resonator. It can give atonal sounds a tone, and that can sound really weird and interesting, and then using that I then put that into the sampler. So I'm going to do that with our weird block sound that we've got. Sometimes there's a harmonic and sometimes it's just something that sounds good. Yeah, so when putting them in a sampler, it should give us a very interesting texture. Interesting is the word because it might not be good. Maybe add a bit of reverb to that. Do you know what I've realised over the last few years is music keeps me healthy. It's an outlet, it's a way to express yourself, and it's important to remember that and not get too lost, especially when you're working professionally within music. It's easy to sort of get lost in the professional expectations, but actually it has so much to offer in just the pure innocence of exploration and creation, which we all have within us.